when my first escrow office win, and she called me for $250, right, signing, I flipped that and I called up one of my sorority sisters.
If someone knows what they want and they know that you have it, then what's left to agree upon? When can you come? That's the question I'm wondering.
Let's talk about Notary.
I'll give an example of what that looks like in the Notary.
Fascinating. From the international best-selling author Tiger Toledo, The Rise of the Smart Notary. The notary business will never be the same again. This book is designed and engineered to help notaries cash flow their business. And as a #1 new release on Amazon and hit the top 5 bestsellers list, this is the perfect gift for this holiday season. Buy one now for yourself and a fellow notary public. Available now on Amazon. Grab your copy today. And if this book doesn't make you money, you can block us.
If you're feeling the vibe, join the tribe and subscribe.
That was good. Okay, go. Get out of here.
How could you be so heartless?
Fascinating.
No one man to have all that, I'm a sick, I like a quick.
Peace, peace, peace. This is your international sales and marketing hitman, your humble hip hop sales coach, Tiger Toledo, and you already know what it is, man. You rock it with the best. You heard? So today, we are jumping on the virtual private jet, and we are flying out to Florida to meet the beautiful Dawn Vélez. Everybody put your hands together for Dawn Vélez. Yeah. How you feeling, Dawn?
I'm feeling amazing. I'm happy to be here and honored to be here.
And we're happy to have you here. So one of the things that caught my attention really, really early on with you, Dawn, besides your name like circulating a lot in this notary industry, is that I did a live, and you guys know that like I erase a lot of my lives after they're done because Instagram tries to hijack my content. But we did a live and we went over the brochure situation. And I have never, ever seen someone move as quickly on a very small piece of information as you did. Not only did you, ladies and gentlemen, not only did she take the info, she created the brochure, had me proofread the brochure, printed it out, and then taught a class on it in like less than 7 days. So salute to you on that. That was amazing. Is that something that you normally do? Like if you get really good information on something, you execute immediately?
Absolutely. The universe loves speed. You can't drag your feet. You know, if you see something like with you, that particular live, it just resonated with me. And I'm a big energy person. When I say that, guys, think of a big energy person and then amplify that. That's me. And I was sitting there, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I love the concept. So I love Canva. So automatically I just jumped off and just started implementing. Whenever I learn something new that I think is going to be valuable to my business, I'm on it. Wait for what? You know, I'm on it and I'm ready to get it going. I'm a doer. I am a doer.
So a lot of people may not know who you are. Can you give a summary or description of like, what do you do? Because you've come from different backgrounds. By the way, this is Miss Big Boss Energy right here. So she about that life. Tell people about yourself.
So I'm Dawn Vélez. I was born and raised in Dayton, Ohio. So I'm really very much, Midwest all the way. I lived in Atlanta for a little bit. And when I was in Atlanta, I lived in Atlanta for about 13 years. And while I was there, that's when I first got my taste of the entrepreneur bug. And I've been infected ever since. So that was back in 2002. And now I live in Florida. I've been in Florida now for 10 years, almost 10 years. We've been here. I'm in the area right here next to Disney. And I am the founder and owner of Notary Nation LLC.
How long you been a notary for now?
So I've been a notary for 1 year and 4
Really?
days. Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, you got bit by the entrepreneurial bug, which a lot of us have, right? And there's no turning back after that. It's
no.
What made you get
None.
into the notary business?
So, all right. So I have this girlfriend of mine who she comes to my condo here and we sit and discuss like business strategies. Okay, this month, what are you going to do? Basically just being accountable. And for about 5 months, right before she would leave, she would say, oh my God, I have so many signings to do. And I would be like, girl, I'm not doing nothing. Just let me know what you need me to do. Not really understanding what that meant. But, because I had zero knowledge of what's all going on out here. So I would tell her that every month. So the last time I was like, oh my God. So I made her a promise. We were standing outside, just, I was seeing her off. And I was like, I tell you what, as soon as I go back upstairs, I'm going to go ahead and just look into it. So I did. I kept my word. I logged into YouTube and I started attending YouTube University. So what caught my eye was probably what catches everyone's eye, 10 grand a month. And I was like, girl, you didn't tell me I could make no 10 grand a month doing this. You was holding out, So I started doing my research and everything, and I became intrigued. So I started, looking for, like I was telling you how I am when it comes to getting stuff done. I started just going crazy. So I was immersed for a good probably 2 weeks. And then I brought it to my family. And I was like, all right, y'all, this is what I'm doing now. I need y'all want to do it too. We can make some money. So my youngest daughter and my mom tested with me, which I have to talk about the Florida test. It's quite annoying. Sure. But they tested with me. We got it done and we got our commission and we were like super proud. So my daughter, I kind of knew she was just kind of wanted just to be with us. She wasn't really into it. But my mom, I really, really wanted to give my mom something since she has retired, give her something that, her and I can kind of do together. Nice. But then she got sick. She got sick like almost 2 weeks after we got our commission. And at that point, I kind of was like, I wanted to let it go because, this was supposed to be really primarily, for her. And I was going to, keep doing my thing. But, and thinking about it, I decided, for when she's better, let me go ahead and just see where I can take it. And then when she comes back, then I can just kind of fill her in and et cetera. So long story short, I started taking all these classes. I started being on everybody's Clubhouse and everybody's Facebook group and trying to get a feel for the culture. And then once I got a handle on that, there was some things I didn't like that, I wanted to kind of do different. And I just started customizing how Notary Nation will rock out here and what our voice is. So I just started, doing that and here we are.
I love it. So Notary Nation, what do you guys specialize in Florida then?
So we specialize in estate planning, which that wasn't what I was looking for. Okay. I wasn't really looking for a niche in particular. Like I said, I did a lot of researching and stuff. So I was like, okay, I got to do fingerprinting. I got to do this. I got to do that. I was hyped. But because my phone calls were for wills and POAs and things like that, the majority of the calls. So in watching the business and when I say mining the business, I realized that, that's where the bulk of our clients are coming from. So we just started, honing in on that. And so that became, what we specialize in. So we actually did that we've been doing just estate planning now for about 7 months.
Now, this is very important. I hope you guys caught on to what she said, because every market is different. And in her market, estate planning was the #1 document of choice that was circulating the most. So like if you're in Georgia, if you're in New York, if you're in VA, if you're in North Carolina, if you're in the Bay, there is a document that circulates more than others, right? It's important to pay attention to that, especially when you're taking on in phone calls. Pay attention to it, find something to mark it down, and within 30 to 60 days, you're really going to have a clear understanding of what is the #1 document in your area. So shout out to you for being able to recognize that and pivot. You are able to pivot so you can actually take advantage of that situation. So you said that you were jumping on Clubhouse, a lot of these different forums and stuff, right? And you said you wanted to get a feel for the notary culture, but it kind of like you didn't really agree with it too much. What was the notary culture telling you?
Oh boy.
Keep it all the way funky.
And that's the problem. I'm not, my best asset is not sugarcoating.
Yes, good.
But when I'm in public, it makes it a little more difficult because
hey, this is the war room, baby.
Yeah, and I'm a straight shooter. So what I did
shoot them all.
Was what I got turned off by was the job feel of signing.
Tack, you can relate to that, right?
It felt like, I'm calling myself an entrepreneur, but I'm asking somebody else for money. And if I don't hit it fast enough, if I don't do this, if I don't do the other, then there's an issue and they got some list that you could do. It was just, that's not what I signed up for. So I was turned off by that first. But the next thing that turned me off about that particular part of being a notary was them telling me, you're asking for my services, but you're telling me what you're gonna pay me. And it's like, but so I don't work for that company. It just didn't make sense. All the printing, the back and forth, it just didn't make business sense to me.
Yes.
So there was the idea of, sign up with 300 people, agencies, do this, do that. Then there was the lack of professionalism that I saw. For new people, like I was almost scared to step out, like I was scared to pop out a little bit in the beginning because I was like, man, these new notaries don't get no type of respect. If you have your stamp we don't care that how long have you been a notary? And it was like this back and forth kind of stuff that I didn't want to be involved in. So I was a little hesitant to offer my talents and my services out here, even though I saw where there's ways that I could help people.
Yes.
I was like, well, I don't really want to wait 5 years before somebody gives me my respect. They're either going to respect it or not. And I just decided to just pop on out but that's what it was in the notary streets.
Ooh, that's fire. Oh, you just hit me with a rapid fire of stuff there. And I'm so glad you said that. So let me ask you this, right? Seeing all of these not so favorable situations where they're dictating the price to you, where it has a job feel, knowing that you are your own boss, right? Being in a position, and I want to use the word loosely, like beggar's role, where you're like asking them for assignments, or the lack of professionalism, right? How are you able to say, you know what, I'm going to combat that? Was that from your previous, you having businesses before, and you said, you know what, I can nip this in the bud here, I can nip this in the bud here, I can nip this in the bud, and then totally create my own situation? Where did that come from to say, like, I don't have to accept this, I can create my own lane?
It's that big boss energy that you was talking about. You really have to, so being an entrepreneur is not for everyone. Some people, because maybe you worked a job, and so you're used to kind of that line of being able to make money. But then there's people out here that are just unbossed. And if you're a person who is unbossed, every situation that you become involved in, you're going to see how you can maximize that, how you can customize that and make it what you do. So I get ideas from some amazing notaries out here. I do. I get all types of ideas. I get all types of information. I'm always seeking information. That will never stop. I just told the class that I had here in Florida, you know, I will never say that I have arrived. I'm always chasing to arrive. I'm always trying to get more. So I feel like it came from just an innate desire to try to be the best in your sphere, in your environment. I know that whenever I get a loan signing and I send somebody out, I give them the lion's share. You know, I take the $75 as a finder's fee and I give them the rest because it just makes sense to me. They're doing all the work. I literally just made a phone call. Hey, can you handle this? That, you know, so I just decided that, you know, there's always more than one way to operate. And with the help of Tyrone Fain and my mom, we just started putting things together, like adding paralegals, adding just a couple of, you know, notaries around who don't mind, you know, so we can expand our coverage area. And, you know, just paying attention to myself and what I got to do and how I got to do it, you know, and not necessarily worrying or being concerned about what anyone else has to say if they're not involved.
Yes. Explain to me, what is Big Boss Energy?
So Big Boss Energy, and I haven't even really figured out how to actually launch this movement, but it is a movement, and it's for those of us who are entrepreneurs who are having those moments where we need support. Sometimes being out here, you kind of feel alone. You feel like nobody understands. You know, you had a great month last month. This month is dry. You know, just to be able to support each other and remind you that that's the kind of energy you have to be on if you really want to navigate being an entrepreneur. So the idea is to support each other, to offer ideas, and to encourage and just share information. That's the point of it. Now, honestly, I hate to talk about it a little too much because I don't have everything in place for it yet. Like I don't have a platform and et cetera, you know, but that's what I'm wanting.
We're putting it in the universe. And I'm glad that you have introduced it to the world on the Notary War Room, you guys, because 2 years from now, 3 years from now, when it's like doing mega conferences and conventions and all that stuff, y'all know, y'all heard it here first. Awesome. We dropped it here first. Anything you would like to add before we go into some Q&A? Because I see everybody lighting up the chat right now.
Well, the only thing I would like to add is that whatever it is that your vision or your goal is for your business, hang in there, do what it takes. Don't be afraid to invest. That's time and money. Don't be afraid to volunteer to help someone who is where you want to be. And stay focused and keep grinding.
Yes. Tahisha, shout out to Tahisha. That's my girl right there. She said Notary Nation Conference in Orlando, Florida.
Hey.
You heard?
Okay, yeah.
Like, we ready. It's sponsored by Disney, Texas.
I love that.
I love that. Coach T put the praise hands up. You can see the chat too, right?
Yeah. I can click on it, open it up.
Awesome. Yeah, so if you guys have questions for Dawn, unmute yourself, state your name and your location, and let's get it cracking. Because these questions be dope as heck. We're all over the place here. We got Clubhouse, we got hand clap.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, they loving it. Yeah, who has a question, you guys? Jump on here. Unmute yourself. Let me make sure I can enable you guys to unmute.
Don, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
And this is Tekamaku out of the Bay.
My name is Tekamaku and I'm from the Bay.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to be here. I'm always thankful to be here, but I have a question for you. In your opinion, what makes a good notary?
In my opinion, a good notary is a person who knows their state laws, a person who can accommodate to different environments. Because sometimes you may go into a home, oh my God, one time I went into this house, it was bad. I'll just say that it was bad. You're going to encounter different environments. You got to understand how to handle that, how you're going to navigate people who sometimes, like if you're doing a divorce, I had a very interesting situation sitting down with, two people going through a divorce. So you have to kind of be able to be sensitive to what people are going through. With the power of attorneys, families are very emotional, during that time. So I think being sensitive and understanding people, having compassion, it takes being a good planner, because showing up late is not cute. You should always try to show up to your appointments early. Being just prepared, I think, makes a good notary. Knowing your stuff, of course, and knowing your state laws and everything else that I just said. There's more to it, but.
Yeah, that's a good response. Like, and I'm thinking to myself, like, if I'm being interviewed as a notary and somebody asked me that question, if I would give that response, and that's a good response. I'm thinking now, tell us, what do you think makes a fire notary? What makes an unstoppable notary? What makes somebody who can't be touched? I'm talking about MC Hammer, East Oakland style. Can't touch this. What makes that notary?
I think
I did that for Tiger, by the way, and all of Brooklyn people in here.
I love it. I guess what takes it to the next level is a person who's able to kind of scale their business. I feel like that's a next level fire type notary. So you're able to employ other notaries, you're able to build a service, a signing service, and just kind of get away from being the one who has to go out and do the jobs. You're now able to have people, your network is wide enough, you're able to have people do those things for you. I think that's the level that I aspire to. So in my view, if you have a person who's on that level or a company that's on that level, that's who I'm trying to be like when I grow up. So to me, that's where they are.
Hey, I wanted to put this out here, since we're manifesting some goals and putting things out in the universe. I want to put this out here. Tekamaku, one day I would love for you to be the guest host of the Notary War Room one day, bro. No, because this is my dude. I talk to him all the time, and I would love for him, like, I'm trying to remove my name from, the Notary War Room with Tiger Toledo. It's gonna branch out to be a show, right? So, like, one day I might ask Dawn, hey, Dawn, would you like to interview this attorney, right? Because here's the thing, we live in a shared economy right now. And the more strategic partnerships that we have, the bigger our situation will grow. So the same way with Airbnb, you don't have to own a property to actually get into Airbnb and rent out space, or you don't have to own a car to do ride share with Uber and Lyft. This is the same thing. We're living in a shared economy, and the more you tap into that, you're gonna realize it's gonna be crazy. Money will be flowing to you. That's what the whole agency side of things are. The agency side of things are, you're sharing somebody else's commission. I'm not in California, I'm not in Florida, but you have a commission in Florida. Therefore, I can outsource some work out to you, and then we can work together. I need that, buddy. Who else would like to come on there? Oh, you wanted to add something, Dawn, real quick?
Yeah, I can add something to that. For sure, networking and helping each other out is where we should start putting our energies, in my opinion. One of the things that attracted me and why I started getting in with you guys, of course, you know, Andre, shout to Andre. But when I saw there were other Black men who were just out here getting it done. So the first one that I ran into was Tech. And me and Tech, you know, we got together, we spoke on a Zoom and everything. And I just, you know, I follow him. He has a lot of valuable information that he shares. Well, in looking at Tech, then I was able to connect to you and, you know, other Black men who are out here doing it. And so I think it's important that not only that we connect with each other, but that we also help, you know, we also just get that bond together to where people are able to learn, people are able to grow, and we can kind of continue to circulate dollars within our community. So
love it. Love that. Anybody else want to jump in? Taiwan, Tahisha, Gina, unmute yourself.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, I had a question. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. You go.
No, I was gonna say, Don, I have a question. So you said about you outsourcing.
Wait, hold on. This is Tahisha Williams out of VA.
Yes,
Notary Seal team, what up?
Hey, everybody. So, Don, my question was as far as outsourcing, because for me, honestly, I mean, because I have, you know, you have your family and stuff that's in it with you. The only person in it with me really is my daughter, which that's kind of a hit and miss sometimes because she don't have that, you know, that expedited type of thing going on. But how do you go about finding the notaries that you will outsource to, that I should say that you trust to outsource to? Because I think that's the biggest thing too. I know with me, you can call someone, you know, first of all, people don't answer their phone, right? Then even, you know, when you do contact someone, it's kind of like, oh, well, I really can't, but let me know if you don't find anybody else. And in my opinion, if you can't, you can't. You already gave me your answer. But how do you find people that you can trust to send on the appointments to get it executed?
That's a great question. And I'm going to tell you exactly what I did, okay? So when I was telling you guys that I had been out in, you know, Clubhouse streets, YouTube, and just Facebook, listening to people and getting a feel for the culture. So one of the first things that I knew I didn't want to have a problem with is somebody not answering their phone. So the reason why I have Melissa, Sandra, and then we just added this other girl, but I don't go out. So everything starts from the top. So you're going to set the tone on how your company is going to operate and what your expectations are. This way people kind of know after you sitting down with them that you're not playing no games. If I call you, let's go, you know, unless you just absolutely can't. So one of the things that I did is we put them through sort of a trial period, right? Almost like when you go and get a job. And we decided that, okay, we can trust these people with doing just a one-page document, for an example, or going to do a VIN number or I-9. How did it go? What did the customer have to say? Different things, you know, that you can think of to do to make sure that you have the right person, because just because they're a notary doesn't mean they can represent your company. You know, so you have to kind of already understand what you want to present when you go out. And you need to be able to express that to notaries that you're going to work with. Now, I'm not big enough yet to the point that I can just, you know, call on people that I don't know. Fortunately, I'm kind of getting my growing pains, you know, in my local area with people that can come to my office and sit down with me, and we can train and we can go over things, you know, to keep it like that. So I don't automatically open the door to trust, you know, this is Notary Nation, it's my baby. So I can't just trust anybody with my baby. I have a daughter, my youngest daughter, she, like I said, she started with us. She's not really into being a notary. She is a notary. That's not her thing. Her thing is paralegal, law, and all this other stuff that she's involved in. So I have a partner. Well, I don't want to call him a partner because he's not really a partner, but he's just a person that I've known for several years. And we kind of lean on each other. He's got a business degree, you know, get people around you that understand and can see your vision and then decide how you want to move when it comes to asking people to join you or to send them to go out on a job, you know, for you. Take your time doing that. Make sure it's people that you know, that you can, you know, build trust with. If you feel like y'all have a good connection, you know, they're talking the right talk and they'll be an asset. Take your time about allowing people to come and represent your company when they go out. Sorry, guys, I can be a little long-winded because the answer is actually longer, you know, than that, but I don't want to talk your head off, you know. Right. But you can always DM me.
Awesome. That was thorough. No, I like that. Be as thorough as you can. I mean, there's no time limit on this. Nobody's gonna kick us off. This is our network.
Thank you.
Great question, Tahisha. Anyone else want to jump in? Gina was next. Gina, you there?
Yeah. Dawn, I have.
Let me let people know where we at. We got Gina in North Carolina. You guys, shout out the Notary SEAL team, Ghost SEAL team here.
Yes, sir. How y'all doing today? Dawn, I had a question. What challenges have you experienced being a notary, and how did you overcome it? And what current challenges you may be facing now?
The biggest challenge, honestly, has been figuring out funding so I can go into the direction that I want to go in. As far as marketing and different things like that, you know, I have prior experience as a business owner. So I was already familiar with how to get myself out there and things like that. So for me, just having enough capital to really grow and really do the things that I want to do, that's the horse that I've been riding lately.
Right.
So I'm on that, you know, trying to learn all the ins and outs of how to maneuver that and you know, flip it to make it work. So I would have to say that has been, and that's what I'm on right now.
That's currently your Achilles heel at the moment? Okay. Okay. Now, another question I had real quick for those that, because I'm not really experienced in marketing, because I've always been working for the government and law enforcement and things like that. So I don't have a problem talking to people. It's just the marketing aspect, learning to pivot from being an authoritarian type of approach to a marketing approach, and that's really my struggle at the moment, besides capital as well. So what's the word I'm looking for? What advice or suggestions you can give for somebody that's having challenges with marketing and things like that, whether you're new or experienced?
What is your challenge with marketing? Are you afraid to market? Like what?
It's not that I'm afraid to market. It's just, I don't know. I'm not really a salesperson type of individual. I'm like, okay, here's what I have. Either you want it or not. I really don't got time with the try to negotiate and all that. And I know that's part of doing business, but like I said, being from a law enforcement background, that's trying to not be so aggressive. Like, either you want it or not. I don't got time for this. Yeah, you know.
Well, let me offer you this, Gina. Your background doesn't dictate what you're doing today.
Right, I'm aware.
So having that law enforcement background, it's good. It probably taught you discipline and some other things like that, some skills that you can implement for what you're doing now. But don't keep that in the forefront of what you're doing. So, and also watch the words that you use when you're describing yourself or your business, right? You want to be very careful about that. That's a real thing, people, for y'all that don't know, that's a real thing. So with your marketing, be aggressive. There's nothing wrong with being aggressive. This is your business, and business is a whole different being from personal. It has nothing to do with what your personal beliefs are or your personal, it's business. It's its own beast. So keep in mind, when you're doing business, you want to figure out, who are my clients? Where can I find these people? What's the best time to reach out to these people? What's the best time to follow up with these people? Have all of these things kind of outlined in like a spreadsheet or something. You can do it in Google Docs. But when you have a set plan, then you go and you execute the plan. So you can say, every Monday, I'm going to email so-and-so companies, and I'm going to let them know my availability for the week. And I'm going to do that. That's just one example of what you can do aggressively, because I mean, I get stuff from like Fashion Nova like 50 million times, because they're constantly doing that aggressive
marketing,
kind of marketing. So no, don't be afraid of the word being too aggressive. I don't think there's such a thing when you're trying to build your business.
Okay. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
You muted, Tiger. You muted.
Okay, so hi, my name is Alpha, and Dawn kind of sort of just answered the question I was going to ask, in her statement. So one of my mottos one of my mantras is, I don't know what I don't know. So if I don't know what I don't know, then I don't know what to ask, because I don't know what I don't know. So I don't know where to go to get the information that I need, because I don't know. So I'm always trying to put myself in a position or put myself in contact with people that do know what I don't know. Hence how I got here. Okay. So one of the things that I'm very, 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 very good at is I'm a research person. I will research you out of this world, because I'm good at that. I'm like a dog with a bone. Okay. I am good at research. So I will get on Google and just keep putting in certain questions. How's this? How do I find that? Until the thing that I'm looking for pops up, or I put the right question in and I actually get it. So what I did was I went to, this is probably way too much that you wanted to know, but I remember when I went to Essence Fest 3 years ago, I joined an Essence Fest group on Facebook to tell me, because I had never been before, to tell me the do's and don'ts of going. So I was like, if they got that group on Facebook, I'm quite sure they've got a doggone notary group. And that's what I did. There's all types of groups and supports and help. And so I Googled notaries, how to get in a notary group. How do I do this? How do I do that? Because as Regina was saying, that is one of my things right now of broadening my base, getting more customers. So now I'm an auditor, I do taxes, and I do financial statements. So my customers that I do taxes for, whenever they need a document notarized, of course they'll call me. I live in the state of Maryland, so they'll call me. If they have a family member, something like that, they'll call me. I'm trying to get better, or I should not so much, but get more, to be that entrepreneur and get more business in, and that's my challenge. That's where I'm at, trying to generate, that's the word I'm looking for, generate more money, more streams of income, more ways to get the word out. Alpha is a notary in Maryland. If you need a notary, mobile or otherwise, she will be there. And that's what I'm trying. That's what I'm researching. That's why I'm here. That's why I was so glad when I saw Tiger's email about join this notary. And I just looked, it was just, the blessing of the universe that I was able to get connected into his to be able to be here. So I'm grateful to each and every last one of you, because I'm here to learn. Okay. And I'm like a sponge. I just want you to know that if you say something, I'm going to write it down and I'm going to use it later. Whether I can use it now or not, I'm going to put it on the shelf and then I'll take it down when I really need it. So, and if you need help with research, feel free to check me. I just told you I'm good at that. So thank you guys. Thank you so much, Tiger. Thank you both, Dawn. Thank you.
Thank you, Papa. And this is what I want to offer you. if you are serious about wanting to grow your business, in your research, look for things that are going to grow your business for you. Look for things that are going to take you down the road you want to go in. So any type of online free things where you can post, you want to get registered, you want to get signed up. That's where you start. Start with everything that's not going to cost you nothing and work those things to your advantage. And then once you kind of get that going, move on to the next thing and do like, lower tier paid things, but don't be afraid to get out, go to UPS stores, go to the banks. You can do all kinds of things for yourself to help lead you in the direction that you want to go in. And I just want to leave one last thing with you, Alpha. Don't forget to always give yourself grace when it comes to business. Sometimes things don't take off the way that we envision it going. And we're like, I have this great product here. I'm fabulous. What's going on? Take your time and know that it does take time to build to where you have that constant, monthly flow of income that you can count on.
Love that. Hey, Alpha, also, since you're researching people, those charges got dropped to a misdemeanor, okay? And those people did not show up.
What?
They did not show up to the courthouse, okay? They didn't show up. I don't know why. Who has any questions? Who's next, you guys? These are great questions, by the way. I love it. Hey, Dawn, I hope you was ready for this rapid fire because they're coming. They're coming.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Definitely.
Who else would like to go live with Dawn Vélez?
How much time do you spend per week just doing notary stuff? And like, what's your personal life like?
Deep breath, long pause. So my personal life is a little hectic. I'm gonna be honest with you, like I said, my sugar coating is not that good. I haven't been, delivered in that area. So I'm gonna tell you, personal life versus business, I'm a person that don't believe in balance. Something is gonna be out of balance because I'm just one woman. I can't be everywhere and I can't be everything. So thankfully, my children are now 30, 22, 19, and my baby is 13. So my baby, even though he's 13, he doesn't require too much from me. He's a boy, he got his own thing going on. But what I'm finding is that because my passion is wanting to really grow my business, really do what I need to do, I'm a little isolated. So I have decided to start doing a calendar to schedule time in that's just family time, no answering, no phone, logging, on everywhere I'm posted so that I can get more into my personal life. But this has happened to me before. Anytime I try to grow something, it's like I have tunnel vision. I just want to see it flourish. And so my life is definitely out of balance. My exercise is out of balance. My eating habits are out of balance. Like everything has been out of whack ever since I decided I was going to dive into this notary thing. So personally, I got some work to do in those areas. I hope that answered.
Oh, that's real. That's transparent and that's real. I don't believe in balance either. Something's gonna, the scale is not gonna be even. Ever.
There's how. Yeah. If you duplicate yourself, you got a clone or something, then okay, I see. But
all right, we got time for 2 more questions, you guys. 2 more questions. Hey, 5-star General Mathering. Come on, man. I see you with the Malcolm X back there, man. Come on, man. I know you got a question, brother.
Oh, man.
Man.
Oh, yeah. So I hope you guys are doing well. So
yes, I just 5-star General right there.
Hey, you know what? We got to make it happen. So, Don, I know I just wanted to see, because what has, maybe it's a two-part question. What had the greatest impact on your business growth? And where do you see your business in the next 3 to 5 years?
Hi, Catherine.
Hey.
So the greatest impact on my business growth was learning how to work with different platforms like Google My Business. Let me see. So this month, my Google My Business had 1,732 views. So learning how to make sure that in my area, I'm pumping things out, so that people constantly know that, hey, if you think of Notary, you're going to think of Notary Nation, right? So I focus primarily on doing that, making sure that I'm focused on being seen. People have to know I'm here so they know what we got, right? So growing, the biggest impact has been learning how to work different platforms so people know where I am. As far as where I see my business in the next 3 to 5 years, well, I don't see myself being ready to go forward into like a full-fledged signing service, but I would like to see my business have greater relationships in different parts of the country with other notaries and other notary business owners. My idea for the next 3 to 5 years is to continue to learn. I think, through experience, you learn different ways about how to navigate situations, what to do, and make more, connections through networking. So that's what I would like to do, is spend my time educating myself, taking little steps here and there to grow my business in certain areas, and then see where we are in the next 3 to 5 years and what would be the next direction for us to go in.
Love it. Love it. All right, we got time for one more question. Mathurin, did you have one more question, or did anybody else want to jump in? By the way, Mathurin is out there in what state is that? Massachusetts.
Man, we get taxed for everything.
Massachusetts. That's right. The reason why I asked you guys to state your city and state is because we're all over, right? So take advantage of that. Reach out to Mathurin, jump on there, reach out to Tech and Gina and Dawn and Tahisha, you know what I mean? And expand your notary business. It doesn't have to be just in your backyard. It is nationwide. Actually, it's global. So one more question, you guys. And by the way, Dawn, while we're waiting on somebody to think of their question, do you have anything you would like to offer to the guest here, or anybody? Like, do you have a program, anything going on right now?
Thank you for that. Yes, I do. So the first date, the first class is going to be, well, both classes are on Zoom, and it's actually a 2-part class starting on July the 17th. The link is in my bio on Instagram. On Instagram, I'm One Notary Nation. Make sure you check it out. We're going to cover things kind of like what we just went over as far as knowing how to get yourself out there. We're going to talk about next to apostilles, my highest document returns are estate planning. So I'm going to go over that. I'm also going to offer you guys different ways. I'm a real strong believer in what happens over that phone when you get that initial phone call. So I'll go over things like that, how to get your phone ringing. It's a 2-part series because I did want to cover a lot of things, because I realized people didn't know things just as simple as where to get a business phone number, like little things like that. So I'm going to do it again, but it is outlined. Once you go in there and you click the link, you'll see exactly what all we're going to be doing. But I'll be throwing extra nuggets in there for you as well, just trying to help you guys out, any way that I can.
So if you guys are on Instagram, go to One Notary Nation. That's the number 1 Notary Nation. And this is a class that you're going to be launching when exactly?
So it's going to be on a Sunday Sunday morning. For some reason, I love starting at 10 o'clock, whatever it is that I'm doing. Okay. I did put a cap on it, but truthfully, I'll take as much time as we need. It'd be July the 17th. And then the next one I think is like the 24th or something like that. The dates are, sorry guys, but the dates are in the link in my bio.
Yeah.
And as far as what we're going to cover, it's there as well. And now the classes are something that I'll be doing every month. I'm also this month, I haven't decided what the date is going to be, but I'm going to do another Canva class this month. My Canva class was absolutely amazing. We created brochures. No one left the class without having a completed brochure.
Nice.
So this time we're going to do what people, I have to call it something else, but right now people are calling it like a notary resume, and the word resume just is not. But I want to show them how to create that, how to create, you know, different types of marketing materials that they can use and order. And so I got a lot of stuff coming up, guys.
Love
Keep
it.
your ear out if you need it.
I always tell you guys, make more offers, make more offers. Look, you can't come on the Notary War Room unless you have something to offer. I always push for you guys to make more offers, because that you're introducing either a new product or a new service. How you expect people to break bread with you if you don't make an offer? My favorite scripture in the Bible is Matthew 7:7-8. Which says, ask and ye shall receive, seek and ye shall find, and knock and the door shall open upon to you. That is it right there for me. We have time for one more question, and then we're going to sign off, ladies and gentlemen. Mike, you got a question? Anybody?
Yeah. So I got something else.
Yes. Yeah. Go ahead.
So you know what? I know a lot of people don't think it that, but I'm thinking it that. So as a Black woman in this industry, right? Do you feel like you have to pretty much 10K pretty much everything that you are doing in order to either match your counterparts, or do you feel like you have the same opportunity as everyone else? And I'm seeing certain people are getting, certain views or exposure, but I feel, I wanted to know from your perspective, do you feel like you have to work twice as hard just to get the same amount of numbers?
My answer to that is no. So as a Black woman, I have the power.
Nice.
Right? So wherever I focus my energy, which is not on what anyone else is doing, literally, that is where it's going to grow. So my energy is focused on growing Notary Nation. Now, when it comes to other notaries, I respect all of y'all, but none of y'all have anything to do with what I'm doing. Just like I don't have anything to do with what you're doing. Yep. So I check on them every once in a while, just to kind of see, what people are doing. I notice in other communities, they do tend to support each other more. So I would love to see us kind of come together more when it comes to that kind of thing, instead of trying to separate, oh, this is my clique over here, I can only talk to them. This is my clique over here, I can only do events with them. I would like to see us kind of open up a little more. But as far as being a Black woman, what I have encountered is actually from customers. Like this couple and their daughter, the guy was from India, their tradition is seeing women in a certain way. I had to put him in his place. Another time I had a customer who, you literally, you're sitting in my office asking for what I have to offer you. So more than once, I've had to put customers in their place and remind them of where they are and what's going on here, because I run this. You don't come into my space and think you about to take over shit. So that's kind of a thing that I've come into in terms of customers, where I am. I'm here in the South, some people just are who they are. So once you lay down the law in terms of, just because you see that I'm a Black woman, don't think that I don't know what I'm talking about, or you're going to take anything away from what I have going on here. Every time I've had to do that, people have taken a step back, like they got some sense, and let's do business and let's move along. So as far as being a Black woman, from customers, I have experienced some things. But in terms of other notaries and things like that, I don't feel like I have to outperform or work harder or any of those things. I don't even know what they're doing, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's perfect right there. So I'm glad that you said that. because I've asked different people that same question and I get a variety of answers. So I like the way your mindset is right now, and I feel like that's what's going to separate you from a lot of notaries, even in businesses in your area, because I've encountered the same thing when like I had people call me for service, then trying to tell me what to do in my business. I'm like, that doesn't work like that. You see what I mean? So that mindset is extremely important. So I'm glad that that's how you view yourself, that's how you view your business, and that's going to set you apart.
Thank you, Mathurin.
No problem.
Yeah, don't let Dawn chin check your ass. She will chin check you right in her office. You heard? So everybody, thank you so much for joining us. We had the beautiful Dawn Vélez grace the Notary War Room from Florida. I am so thrilled. I'm so grateful for you, Dawn. Thank you for being so transparent with everybody here. We gained a lot of knowledge, not just on the business aspect, but even you took us into, behind the curtains in your personal life, showed us the transparency on that and how to deal and how to maneuver and being breaking traditional curses, right? Becoming successful in business, and just having the strength and the confidence, because you're a very confident woman, I gotta say. And I love that. That's that big boss energy, you guys. So thank you guys again for joining us. Last parting words, Dawn?
Everyone, follow me on Instagram. If you need assistance, make sure you check the link in my bio for my upcoming classes. And no matter what, don't stop. Keep going.
You heard? Peace.
That's all, folks.